Hi guys, it's Sandy here with two things and a rant. Thing number one, I am sitting outside a store waiting for it to open because I was already out and about early this morning. I went to another Toastmasters club to share my humorous speech with them for the contest. I'm practicing it on as many people as will listen, and I thought they were meeting at 6:45. I wrote that down in my calendar. They meet at 6:15. So I was very lucky that I planned to get there at 6:15 for a meet and greet ahead of time. And I did get a little finger wag for not getting there sooner when I was going to be one of the speakers, but this speech did go well. And that brings me to thing number two, which is the speech and why I'm traveling around with it. There's a speech contest going on that I want to move on in. I want to advance. And normally I really wouldn't want to win anything because I don't like big audiences. I'm not really thrilled about the idea of the stress of a contest. However, this particular speech came together with such a good message about art and the power of art that I really want more people to hear it. And every time I've delivered it, people gather around afterward and they say, "You've told my story. Here's my part of that." And I know how much it's affecting people. So I want to continue and deliver the speech to more people and spread that message. So in spreading that message, I also need to make it really funny so it will win. And some of the advice I've gotten has been really helpful. I've been revamping it, so it improves every single time. And this morning I added things like props, because one of my other clubs that I visited yesterday recommended props. So I added this brush. It's an old yucky brush. It's by Simply Simmons, and it's a 16. It's got hairs coming out of it and everything. But it's a nice big one, so it'll work for a prop. And I used it twice in the speech. Once the pun was jumping over art supplies with a single bound, because there's a superhero theme in the speech. And the other was painting things into a corner. But I need more art supply jokes and puns that I can put into this speech and pepper throughout so I have something to do with the brush. Because what I ended up doing was holding the brush and just passing it back and forth from hand to hand, and it got in the way of my gestures. It got in the way of things because people said they wanted to know why I was still holding the brush. So I need to either put it down or have more puns. So please, in the comments down below, leave me some puns because I definitely could use more. So you guys are funny, so give me some ideas. My rant is about Periscope. I know I just ranted about Periscope in my last video, but this one is a little bit different because I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, the user experience and etiquette on Periscope. And it's one of the things that I've seen happen a little bit in my videos and a lot in other people's videos. And I thought I'd save the scopers some headache by maybe just talking about this and raising the issue. What happens a lot, you know, Periscopes always start out awkward. That first 30 seconds to a minute, you're waiting for people to arrive because it takes people a second to, you know, put down their lunch or whatever they were doing and click on Periscope to come join. So that first 30 seconds to a minute is kind of lost time. So you're just kind of like saying hi to people, and sometimes people are just like fiddling with their camera or whatever, and that is normal. So if you go to a Periscope and you're like, what are they up to? Don't judge them by that first 30 seconds. But what happens after that is, like, the person will start it, especially on crafty ones, they'll start with their project and they'll start making it. They'll show you what the supplies are and talk about that. And then they'll start making it. And then about every minute, somebody else new adds on, which is great. You can add on any time while it's live and join in the conversation. But every time someone adds on every minute, they ask the same questions. What's that stamp? What color ink? What brand of pen? Like, what, all those questions that have already been answered. And the poor scoper is stuck either trying to answer those questions for all the people who are just peppering the feed with them, because you can type in chat, or the person doesn't get answered. And then they might feel left out because nobody answered their question. Sometimes people in chat will answer, and that's nice. But what I think would work better, and maybe this will just be something we develop over time, is if you miss that first 2 minutes, 3 minutes when they've actually talked about the supplies, just watch that beginning part in replay, and you'll get all the information that you need for the most part. So that way the scoper doesn't get distracted by seeing questions that are already asked and answered, and you still get your information because you can go back and rewatch that as many times as you want. And I'm going to start trying, I think, if I can remember to do this, at the end of a scope, to relist all the stuff that was used. so that you don't have to go back to the beginning and watch. But I don't know what's going to develop with this social media because it's new. Like, it's only been around since March or April or something. So none of us has any ideas what the real etiquette's going to be and the best practices for them. So if there are scopers that you guys watch that are like amazing, that are engaging, and they're like kind of figure out how to make a craft video short and quick, I would love to see more of those. So, you know, send them to me, share them with me so that I can find out who's doing it really well. And I will be reporting back to you on who my favorites are to follow once people kind of get in the rhythm of it. I want to see how people develop as they do them. So I'm not going to really share a whole lot of scopers quite yet, but you can follow all of your favorite crafty people and, you know, just look them up. Anybody you follow on Twitter will show up in your list as a possible person to follow in Periscope. Okie dokie, I'm going to go now. I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget, puns in the doobly-doo. I need your help. See you guys. Bye.